Hey everybody, Christy Vote and Dave Vote
Hi, good
here.
to see everybody again. Happy New Year.
Western Slip of Colorado. This is our first official uh, TNT training where we've merged teams. I'm so excited. Marisa actually did this same training last night. Um, and she said it went really well. But before we do, I
I'm gonna
want
mute everybody, which means you're gonna be muted, so you're gonna need to unmute. Sorry.
Okay, so Christy and Dave Vote here. We're going to go into our very first training of the TNT series. But first, just wanted to just a couple quick reminders. Um, so for the next conference, LifeVantage conference, which is in April in Las Vegas, corporate is throwing out a fun deal. They've never done this before. So if you book your room using the room block that LifeVantage has, which is on your shopping site, your website, the room there is only $169. That's a really good deal. For Planet Hollywood, right? Yeah. And you also will get a welcome gift if you book and reserved seatings and $10 in merchandise credit. So only for, those of us who block or reserve the room through the room block. Also, just a reminder to please check your emails from LifeVantage. There was on Saturday, actually, after the virtual event, there was an email that they sent, and we can watch the full replay. For those of you who have registered, if you haven't, we can, kind of share some snippets. But they also did a really great job at just summarizing what they announced on the Saturday training. And then the Monday Momentum newsletter that came out yesterday, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of good things, new releases that they're doing, the new what's it called? Achievers Reward Incentive Trip in Canada. The criteria is all the way through the end of March, with the trip being in July. You guys, July in Canada, gorgeous. So this is very achievable for everybody to do. So please just read through the details. And if you want to go, please reach out to your upline support and we will meet with you one-on-one and we will help you with that strategy to go and help answer any questions, okay? But all of the details are there and pretty simple. Okay. So tonight's training is the art of sharing your unique story and why stories are the magic of our business. Remember, this is the snapshot of our system, and our business is really all about stories. It's having conversations. It's connecting with your story, piquing their interest, pulling at their heartstrings. So they are asking for more information on what we have. People don't buy from data, you guys. They buy from emotion and they justify it with the data later. I want you to reread this. People don't buy from the data, they buy from emotion and justify it with the data later. So you don't want to spew out all the facts about pro tandem and all the science. We don't want that because stories are magic and they are relatable. They create connection with who you're talking to. They build trust much faster than facts, makes you memorable, helps people see themselves in the solution, and helps people see something they can no longer unsee, right? Leaving them changed. Once you hear that story, I was sharing with Marisa yesterday the story I heard on stage. By Richard Bliss Brooks. And it was what, 2018 where I heard his story and it stuck with me forever. It was just fast. It was such a great story. Your audience is thinking, as you're sharing your story with them, okay, where is she or he going with this? Okay, I'm starting to relate. I'm starting to think of myself in this situation or somebody else that I'm thinking about in that situation. Gosh, is this something I could do? Is it worth it? is this the person I want to do it with? Right? Like, so you've got to have belief in yourself and belief in your story and belief about the vision, right? Because you want them to be pulled to you and like, I want to partner with this girl. Let's do it. I trust her, him, right? So the number one story, the most important story, is the story you tell yourself. Check this out.
Yes, because you do know the louder you can be, the more successful you become. You do know that. So I don't know what happened when we grew up and they were like, shh, 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 shh. But that does not work for me. Living, caring, giving, sharing. Boy, oh boy, I love to work with the daring. A magic million? Can you imagine such? Of course you can. We've got the touch. I'm small in stature only, but I'm heavy in belief. I'm leading by example, so you can count on me as I flash this $1 million smile. The world will know it's all worthwhile because I'm banking on the magic, banking on success, banking on some people who simply want the best. I'm proud to be before you. I'm proud to be top rank. I'm the leader of leaders. My name is Gloria Mayfield Banks. And I'll tell you what. No, this is what I'm telling you. I want to tell you that that's how I talk to myself when I get up in the morning. I don't know what you say to yourself when you get up in the morning. But if it's hello, you've already started behind.
So good. You guys, I saw her share her story on the stage again years ago, and it stuck with me. I immediately, when I was putting this training together, like I got to go find that because it's powerful. It's a story you tell yourself. So ultimately, you guys, we are paid, well paid storytellers. We have to share our story in an impactful way. Of course, the Protandem NRF2 story, like who knows that story by heart, right? We were on retail shelves, and then John Quinones came out and interviewed the doctors who formulated Protandim, and then the ABC Primetime Investigative Report came out, and then we had like $5 million of sales in Protandim, and then slowly over the months and the years, the sales started dying, and the kid making $8 an hour at CVS Pharmacy is not going to be able to share the story and why it's unique. So then it went into direct, right? That's the Protandim story. It's such a great, unique story. I hope you can, all eventually be able to share it. Other product stories, and of course, our company story and the opportunity story, which is really what we're going to be focusing on here in a minute. So know the difference between a product story versus the opportunity story. So many people, because our products are so exceptional, have come on board or started first as a customer and then upgraded or came on board because of that pain point of how they were feeling, that they have a really great, powerful product story. And they're always leading with the product story. But so let's talk about the product story. What wasn't working before you started on the LifeVantage products, what you started doing, what you tried, what changed, and how you feel now, right? Or even just a simple before and after photo, right? Especially like of our collagen or just after a few years of activation, it's very evident that our products slow down the aging process, right? Product story, of course, use customer stories. That's why we started the Monday morning motivational call. It's all about the stories. And then your customer support Facebook group, right? Loaded with stories. So really learn those stories so you can start sharing these stories to connect more with the person you're talking to. Borrowed belief is powerful belief. And it's always kind of that third, it's social proof, right? When you're sharing other people's story. So now let's talk about the opportunity story, like your defining moment. What made you turn from a customer to a consultant or just come in straight as a consultant, right? So what you didn't like before, I wasn't really looking, but I heard about this business opportunity. Something caught my attention. I couldn't ignore it. And then, of course, your why, right? Like, um, it's this, the why is a whole different training, you guys. We could talk about this for 20, 30 minutes on your why, but why you said yes, the real reason. And to help more people, to have more money, to be able to free, like our why, and it can change and it evolves the longer you're, with LifeVantage, as your life evolves in different situations. But, our why now is to just have the freedom to go. We have an eighth grandbaby on the way, and they all live, far away. So it's to be able to have the freedom to go and travel and build relationships and quality time with our family and our grandkids, but still working the business right from my phone. So I can connect to a lot of people with that story that are kind of in midlife right now, becoming grandparents. So really know your deep why, what is going to make you roll out of bed every morning and add the LifeVantage business amongst everything else you're doing all day, right? So the simple story structure is keep it simple. What was your normal, the problem that you had, the discovery, and then what is your new normal now that you said yes to LifeVantage? And then our story varies in lengths, right? Between like just a 30, actually, I have like an elevator, right? When you're standing at the elevator with somebody and they ask, what do you do? I'm going to get to that in a minute. To a 30-second story, which opens up curiosity where they want more information, to a 60 to 90-second story that's building belief in people. That's about what we have. Well, 2 to 3 minutes even on our Monday motivational calls. They're anywhere from 1.5 to 3 minutes. So longer doesn't sell better. It's your making it clear sells better, right? So you want to know your story inside and out, your quick elevator story. I would love for you guys to type in the comments real quick. What is your one sentence? When somebody asks, what do you do? One sentence that you give. And then I'm going to share mine here in a minute. What do you do? What is it that you do? One sentence. Do we have any yet? Oh, yes. Not yet. Okay, well, think about it. Maybe you don't know it right now.
Are you saying something to me?
Oh, no, I was saying in the chat.
Oh.
In the chat, like when somebody asks, what do you do? Okay. So I say I have my own business where I help people with healthy aging. You, right? I always flip it back to them. And they answer what they do, whatever. And then they probably will circle back around and say, wait, what do you mean by healthy aging? I market a natural product that's clinically proven to lower inflammation and extend quality of life. If you're open to it, I'm happy to get you information. Just to get your information, I'll send you something. Right. Again, that's a quick, like when you're standing at the elevator and you want to know this so well that if you're standing next to someone who, I was literally at an elevator, we were in Miami, and going into the elevator, and this gentleman comes in at the same time, and he just got done running, and we just small talk, right? And he eventually like, are you here for business? Or I'm like, I'm here with my husband on business. I always say business. Well, what do you do? And I said, I have a product that actually helps with athletic performance and recovery. Right. So, because I saw that he was an athlete. So you want to just know your story inside and out so you can kind of tweak it to fit that person. And then this is an example of a 45-second story. I want you guys to see like how impactful and how much information she gets in 45 seconds. This is from Romy Neustadt of the book Get Over Your Damn Self. If you have not read it, please do. It's the #1 book actually that we recommend to our brand new consultants, Get Over Your Damn Self. But this is her 45-second story. I've been tied to the billable hour and at the beck and call of my clients my entire career. First as a lawyer and then a PR exec. But as a mom of 2 little ones, I wanted more flexibility to own my own schedule and to make more money to get further ahead. It's a tall order for a working mom, but I found a way to have it. My PR client introduced me to my company. She was funding the business she hired me to help her promote through her side gig. I immediately recognized that this was a way to build my exit strategy from corporate America. I'm excited to grow a team and a customer base around my PR practice, the kids, and all of the other things on my plate to create a lifestyle I really want. And I'm excited to help others have different options too. So take a snapshot of this, you guys, because it's a really great way to look at and like structure. Thank you, structure. You know, she draws you into her story. It's relatable, you know, where she was, what she was feeling, and what she really wanted and where this was going to take her. So collect a library of stories. You know, share a story that's most relatable to your audience. Know your prospects' pain points so you can share the vision of how LifeVantage is a solution. And again, know your story inside and out so you can tweak it and feel comfortable sharing it on the spot. And use as few words as possible, and substitute more impactful words. You know, the more, if you go on and on and on and on and on, you're going to lose them, right? So, part two is how to share your stories on social media without sounding salesy. Okay, so three-part story, and feel free to take a screenshot of this. But, you know, the first thing is a hook, you know, make it relatable. I didn't realize how tired I was until, or this surprised me more than I expected. And then the moment, right, is the part two, like the shift, what changed, what clicked, what you started doing. And then three, soft close, just piquing curiosity. You know, if this resonates with you, I'm happy to share, or message me if you want more details on what I'm doing. What to avoid with any story is over explaining medical claims, that we have to be compliant, especially when we're sharing things on social media. And we don't want to sound like a brochure or an advertisement. People are so tired of getting sold to, right? And then don't apologize for sharing. Again, it's all in your posture and your belief. So you don't need the perfect script. You don't need more stats. You don't need to understand the science before you start sharing your story. You don't need a sales personality. What you do need is energy and posture and vision and just your authentic story told often. So here is an outline, you guys, like a worksheet. So again, take a snapshot of this and create one for each, like your product. If you have a product story, and then one for the opportunity story. Okay, and take your time. Obviously, when you do this, like you're not going to be reading your story, but this just gives you the structure to build your story and then read it and tweak it. And then, like I said, once you understand it inside and out, then you can naturally just share your story with people, right? So again, your normal before LifeVantage, what was happening in your life before? And then the problem or the tension or the pain point, you know, what wasn't working? What did you try that didn't work? How did that make you feel physically and emotionally? Just like that Romy Newstat, right? Like we felt her how she felt. What did you try that didn't work? Right. And this is really where that relatable piece comes into play, where you start tugging at someone, you get their attention because it's like, wow, I'm in that same position. Right. And then the discovery, like how you were introduced to LifeVantage, whether it's a product or the opportunity, and what changed first, what changes did you start seeing, you know, and what results did you start to notice? And then number four, like your new normal. Like, what's different now? How is your energy? How is your confidence? Like, hope, like our opportunity gives, and the products give people hope, right? That there's a better way. And what, like freedom. And then number five, like a sentence that matters the most. Like, if nothing else, this is what I want people to remember. You know, what did you learn about the real reason why you were stuck back then before LifeVantage came into your life? Right. And then really importantly, how this can work for them. You know, what tool, what system, what product, you know, your support team, how they help you and how they can help them, your person you're talking to. You know, and what's the bridge between your story and their next step? So after you know, write this out and kind of think through it, then time check it, you know, really know what your that elevator story is going to be. You know, that one sentence when somebody asks you what you do, and then your 30-second version. And then a 45-second version. So use Romy's outline as your guide, a 90-second version, and like a deeper version for a 3-minute version. When you guys come on our Monday motivational call, you know, you can share that 2 to 3 minute story. Oh, I'm so excited. We're gonna have a whole slew of stories after this, right? To share on the Monday call.
I would just add one thing. The more you practice this and work on this, the more confidence you have, and that'll show when you're talking to these prospects out there you've never met before. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah, and practice with your
Practice.
friends, with your family. Just, hey, I'm kind of creating my story, and I would love for you to listen and, give me any kind of critiquing or feedback, right? Practice, practice. So we've got a challenge for you. Find an accountability partner. You guys were going into, this new year. It's a really great time to lock arms with an accountability person, whether it's someone, a sideline is great, I think, like a sideline cousin, where you guys are kind of maybe at the same place in your business. Reach out to somebody and just say, hey, do you want to be accountability partners, and just check in with each other. And then write your story using that worksheet. And then, once you have kind of this outline of what you want to say, use chat. At this point, I'm sure you're all using Chat GPT, right? And your chat is starting to know you. So just say, hey, chat, I'm working on my story, and here's what I have so far, and help me. And just keep using it until it's real and authentic in you, right? And then remember, the fewer words, the better. And share this with your accountability partner within the next 7 days. Can you guys do that by like next Tuesday? Have this outline done, and hook up with your accountability partner and share your stories and time each other. I think that would be awesome. And then social media challenge, start posting in your stories if you haven't been already. And you can post in your stories, but you can also post your stories like in reels, on your social media page. And then post your 60-second story and pin it. And what I mean by that, I'm just going to give you my example. And I actually took this from somebody that I was following. They're in another company, this couple that I really admire. And I saw that they pinned their story at the top of their Facebook and their Instagram. And so I kind of I screenshotted it, and I used their formula to develop mine. Let me see if this is going to work for us. Yeah. So right here. So copy mine and kind of create your story around it.
That's this all about.
I've had this since June.
Oh, gosh.
But if you notice, there's a lot of people doing this. They're posting their story, pinning it to their social media. I don't have mine yet pinned on Facebook, but I will. So it's always good because, when people go to your page, that's the first thing they're going to see is your story. Okay, back to PowerPoint. Okay, so we always like to give you some takeaways and something to deep dive into this topic. So there's a book called Stories That Stick by Kendra Hall. If you guys have been with LifeVantage for a while, she spoke on stage at one of our events. It was amazing. And so I know all of us who saw her on stage bought the book. So I really highly encourage you to buy the book. If you like audibles, I love audibles, and she narrates. She has the cutest voice and the best energy. So she narrates the stories that stick. It's great. And then, of course, again, our Motivational Monday calls that you can plug in from anywhere just to listen to the stories. And with that, you guys, we share this over and over every Monday, but tell me the facts and I'll learn. Tell me the truth and I'll believe. But tell me a story and it will live in my heart forever. Okay, so I'm going to stop share right now, and Miss Marisa is going to introduce a beautiful story to end our training tonight.
Absolutely. And guys, when you are on your Instagram or your Facebook, just make sure your profile is professional. That's really important because it's your energy, your face being visible, clear, all those things. So those are some things to think about. If you're going to pin something, just having, something that shows that you're credible with what you're doing and it aligns. You can have other hobbies and other interests in there for your profile, but I just highly recommend, something that people can go, oh, I identify with her. So with that, I'm going to bring Elizabeth Bernal on. Elizabeth is relatively new in LifeVantage. We met through a book project we've been working on, two different volumes, and she's a mom of three. She has, is it two or three potbelly pigs? She's like an animal lover. She's so cute.
Four.
Four. Oh my God. I've met a couple of them. They're like walk in the house, they give you kisses. They're amazing. And she's just a lot of fun. So we met through this book project, but it was really because I posted something in my story that caught her attention. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Elizabeth. Elizabeth's in Phoenix, Arizona. She has a full-time day job, but her passion is health and fitness and nutrition and helping others. So she's trying to pivot what she's doing full time to be able to do LifeVantage and her health and wellness nutrition business and fitness business. So Elizabeth, welcome.
Thank you.
Second night in a row, you're sharing your stories, so you're
I
gonna get really good.
know. Yes, thank you. And hello, everybody. I'm actually here with my mom.
Who's a new consultant too,
Yes,
and this
she's
is a
gonna
2 to 3 minute share.
Yeah.
2 to 3 minute share.
Yes. Okay, so now you know a little bit of a background. So yes, my prime focus is my new functional health business, which I knew I'd want to bring in products. I just didn't really know what that meant. And then yes, but a little backstory to get me how I got to that is I basically was doing unknown damage to myself for well over 20 years, my entire life. I mean, my mom would say you weren't supposed to live past 21. And I didn't realize the damage. I just thought it was normal to feel a certain way. And as I got older, it got worse. And it drove me to not only want to leave being a job that I'm tied to somebody else's schedule, but also, help my own health and help others. And then when I met Marisa, yes, I think the key word was mitochondrial health. She was drinking P84. And I'm like, I'm just going to reach out. And she met me for lunch. I had no clue what was going to happen. I thought I was just going to be sampling products or maybe buying something. And it was your story, Marisa. It was amazing. And I adored your energy. And I was so glad we met. And I was like, I'm in. I just dive into every major life decision. And I went full in. I don't like when people tell me I can't do something. So when, hearing that it's network marketing and people have doubts about it, that gets me more excited to be more successful. And my gut was so bad that I was ready to go get surgery or go on hard medication just to fix it. I thought eczema was a normal thing that you live with. And when I started taking the products, it started getting better. I don't even have symptoms of eczema anymore. I have permanent marks from how bad it was. And it was awful. I'd be in tears at night. I was just in pain. And I just chalked it up to this is how life was going to be, or I'd have to go through something major. So NRF2 was the first thing I started along with the P84 and collagen. And I have seen more results than I could have ever imagined. And my mom comes from the health industry. And, so her backing it up and believing in it even more supported my belief in doing this. And so I'm very new, but within 2 months, I'm making enough to pay for my products. And that's huge. And that gets me really excited. And that's going to be my new normal, not just paying for my own products, but building a business and with her. And just the support system that we have here is amazing. I mean, Marisa, I love you. And I'm just so excited to be here. So thank you.
Oh, I love you too. She did that in 3 minutes, you guys. Beautiful share. Beautiful. Heart and soul right there. Thank you, Christy. Next week we will be talking, well, stay tuned. We'll get back to the basics and we have another wonderful tool to share with you.